Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you so much for joining me. I was inspired literally yesterday to make this video by somebody who left a comment on my video asking if I can show you some versatile products that you can use for multiple things, right? So say you've gone out, you don't want to take all your makeup with you, or you've gone away for the weekend and you don't want to take too much with you. These are some things that you can use everywhere. We have a lip color that's a blush, eyeshadow that's also contour and highlight. And I'm going to show you how many things you can do with this eyeshadow primer. It's a lot. You'd be surprised how many problems eyeshadow primer can fix, not just on the eyes. But before we get into that today, if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Robert Welsh. I'm a makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. Just realized I haven't said this in so long and it's just come out second nature. I'll continue. And it's my goal here to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who's really good at makeup. So if that sounds good to you, please do consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and do leave a comment for the algorithm. Even if you just comment algorithm, it helps greatly. Okay, and as always, I always reply to your comments within the first hour of posting a video, and I post 3 days a week. Okay, let's get straight into it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to start with is the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. This is incredible. I'll give you reasons why, right? Say you don't fancy it taking all your skincare, all your makeup prep away with you for the weekend, or you're having a lazy day, a lazy morning. We all have them. Sometimes we just want to spray our faces and be like, I've done my makeup prep. This is the one. So you can do like a very basic skincare routine and then spray this. This is a setting spray and it hydrates also. The hydration in this is the main thing I want to go for. It has aloe in it, which is super, super hydrating. And for you oily people, it's not over hydrating. So give it a shake and just spray it on the face. Now, you know I love setting sprays as primers. I can't stand them any other way unless it's to kind of like give your makeup a certain look after it's done, like a hydrating mist or a finishing spray, and just let that settle onto the skin. This is going to help grip onto your makeup. It's going to stop oils from coming through the skin because that's where they come from. They don't come in this way, so that's why I don't see the point of putting setting spray on top, really. Your oils are still going to come through and ruin it, unless you want your face to be waterproof, then sure. And it just has a beautiful glow. The glow from this, stunning. Okay, next up, Sigma Eyeshadow Primer. Now, if you're someone who watches my content on all platforms, you're going to be bored to death of me talking about this, but look how much I love it. The writing is peeling off. Peeling? Fading away. Because I'm literally using it all the time. I love it. It's an eyeshadow primer, yes, which you should be using, not concealer under eyeshadow, but it does many other things. And I'm going to tell you exactly where to use this. Of course, we're going to use it as an eyeshadow primer. This is a perfect texture because it's halfway between being too dry, but not overly dry. So it's not going to dry out your eyelids. However, if you do find it drying, I'm going to show you what to do and how to use this in multiple ways. I just like to apply it and then use the warmth of my fingers to kind of like tap it in and make sure it's spread evenly across everywhere. You see it, and you see it's kind of like sticking bits of my lid together, which is what we want. We want that tackiness. And then I let it sit for a bit, see if there's any creases, and then we're good after that. So the rest of your skin, your makeup is patchy here, it's patchy on your chin, it comes off your nose easily. Oil breaks down makeup. What does this do? Blocks oil from coming through the oiliest part of your face, which is your eyelids. Yeah, surprising. If you have drier eyelids, you're kind of lucky, you're kind of not. So let's blot our face in the areas that we're oily, right? I'm gonna draw this on the back of my hand. And you can also do this on the lid as well when you're, if you're finding it a little bit too dry, and then press it onto the lid. So we're also using this as more of a mattifying primer. So you're going to be using it everywhere where we get slightly more oily. And it's important to use it with your finger in a patting motion and to warm up the product like this so it isn't too cakey. And I'm literally going to tap into those areas where you may be having trouble with makeup lasting a long time. And you want to do a tiny, tiny bit at a time. You don't want it to have coverage so much. It doesn't matter if you can see the color. And this does come in different colors, different shades. So there's something that you can use. It doesn't even have to be your skin tone. You're going to cover it with foundation. So even if it's a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, it's absolutely fine. And you can see it is quite dry and it's quite waxy, but you can see it's not really disruptive to the texture of my skin. Especially for me, I'm very, very textured on my nose. I'm just gonna tap a little bit more. So as I said, the waxy texture of this primer is gonna stop oil from coming through like it does on our eyelids. It prevents creases on our eyelid. See, no crease, because it's an eye primer. As always, I love to do skin first, let that all like soak in or do what it needs to do. Let the skin deal with it, drink it up. Eyes. Now, this is going to be our eyes, our cheeks, the Blend Bunny Forget Me Not palette. All these cool tones for contours, these deeper options for contours and deeper skin tones, bronzers. This is incredible for everything, for everyone. One of my favorite palettes. So we can do a really neutral look, like a nude kind of look, and then you can carry like a color pencil with you and put a bit of color on there, or keep it completely nude if you want to. So I'm just gonna start with a very neutral, I wanna do that look where it's like, oh my God, you've had so much Botox. Let me take it through the corner of my brow here. The textures in the Blend Bunny eyeshadow palettes, of course, stunning as always. So we'll do the eyes with this and then we'll come back after we've done foundation. Unfortunately, there's not really a multi-use for foundation unless you want to use it on like your legs and stuff, but it doesn't tend to stay as nice as some body foundations would. So this palette is truly versatile and you can really use it for anything. The shades blend beautifully together. Even the matte powders in this you can use as a matte highlight under the eyes. You can use it on the eyelids, of course, because eyeshadow, but even the choice of highlights is great for everyone. The fact that you can use them as your eyeshadow or your highlighter is incredible. Okay, so before I finish up my eyes, let's talk makeup brushes. This brush is gonna do everything in our complexion. I mean everything: concealer, foundation, blush, contour, bronzer. What's the other one? Highlight. This is an AA01 brush. This is from Refa, and it's in collaboration with Alexandra. And now I know you know who she is. It's always great to see collaborations with makeup artists and brands and people who know what they're doing when it comes to makeup in general. The shape of this brush is the key to it doing everything. It's long, but it's not too long. So it has a sturdiness and a stubbornness to blend, but also to be able to swipe. And the shape is that tipped, pointed shape. So great for concealer. You can get right up in those inside corners, right in those areas. Highlight, pinpointing those areas of the skin you want to highlight. Blush, cream, powder, we can buff like this. I'm gonna show you. Okay, so concealer, I'm gonna use my iconic London Radiant concealer. And yeah, I'm gonna use it for creams and powder. Okay, so on this area, I'm gonna use it to cut off my eyeshadow. It's very soft, but at the same time, it does have a slight pressure to it that's gonna help to blend smooth, seamless. I'm gonna use it for foundation as well. I'm gonna use my Jung Seymour Essential Skin Nude Cushion. I was gonna tap my brush right in. So with a concealer, we were using kind of more of a tip like this. With a foundation, I want to lay it more on its side like this. So from this to this, from the middle of the face outwards. So if you have a brush that's a similar shape, it obviously doesn't have to be this one, but a similar shape will work just fine. Also, look at that glow coming through still from the e.l.f. spray. And brushes like this that you would consider more for powder products, they can get kind of like oversaturated if you use them for liquids. So make sure you're fully getting all that product off the brush on your skin before you go in for more. Foundation and concealer done with one brush. The brush is relatively dry. I'm just gonna wipe the excess off on a tissue, or you can use like a color switch or something like that. Let's do contour, bronzer, and highlight. I'm gonna go into my blend, oh, that's upside down. My Blend Bunny Forget Me Not palette because it has everything. I'm using the shade Anticipation for my bronzer. And I'm holding it right up at the tip, right on the end here, with my finger up for a lighter pressure. You actually don't need that much color from this palette. I always forget it's very pigmented. This foundation's beautiful. Bronzer done because it's on a wider scale. I'm gonna go into the shade Remember. No, I'm not. Together. For my contour. Just more of that shadowy shade. Bronzer, contour, done. One brush. Highlight, I'm going into the shade Cheers. And I'm going to use the very tip of this brush. And I mean like the boop, 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 right on its tip, coming right into the face, like at this angle. I'm just going to touch where I want the highlight to be. Whoops, wrong color. Oh no. Yes. subtle highlight. I don't want too much. Okay, we're going to come back to that brush because we're going to use it for powder as well. I know, so crazy. But let me finish up under my eyes. Okay, before we do lashes, the rest of the face, I want to talk about lips, and I want to show you, I've been using these so much, you've probably seen them all the time. The Mood Blur lip pencils from dasique. These are, I bought all of these myself. I have done sponsored content with dasique, but it's because it's a brand I really love. These are beautiful lip pencils. Really soft, matte, but like a blur. Mood Blur is the name. So you can use these as your whole lip color, as a lip liner, or what I like to do is kind of both. So I use number 1, right? Yeah, number 1, Sand Beige, to blank out my lip color. And you can see they're really, really soft. Although they're blurry, they're not matte. So it's not sticky or anything. It's really, really smooth. I'll actually show you, let me just show you a bright pink one so you can kind of get an idea. So you can go a little bit more color like this if you wanted to. Let me just blend that in. Or mix them together, or as I said, line with them. They're not very deep, so you can't go for like a brown line or anything like that. So great if you want a lip color or something to knock the color out of your lips. I know this is like a big one for people, especially people who are very fair in terms of skin tone, and colors may come up like kind of, you go for a nude and they come up orangey. Block that color out with a pale pink, and it will help with that color combination. Me, as someone who doesn't like color on my lip, yeah, I like to block out the color. I also want to show you these from Fwee. These are cheek and lip colors. So it looks just like this. And this is the shade inside. Don't be fooled by the shade, though. They do look completely different when on the lip. These are like these moussey, spongy kind of textures. And these are for your lips and your cheeks. So it can be used as blush and on the lips too. And this is just a really nice nude. It's like, I believe 30 colors. And they're extremely buildable as well. And these go from anything from like a bright pink to a deep, deep purple, like so. So if you want something matte on the lip, again, very, very comfortable. I just whacked on a bit of liner underneath. Let me show you this as a blush. And just get that nice kind of monochromatic look with the lips and the cheeks. And again, comes in a lot of different colors, a lot of shades. Okay, let me get on some lashes and we can complete, oh no, powder. Okay, we're gonna finish up using the brush for powder, and I'm using the whole of the side of that brush to pack my brush with a powder. I'm just tapping it where I want. Mixing that in with some little swipes. And then again, I'm gonna use the whole of the side for my forehead. I don't use too much powder. I want still a little bit of a shine on my forehead. And that was that whole complexion done with one brush. So we use 2 products to prime our skin. We used 1 product for our eyes, our contour, our highlight, our bronzer. We used our foundation, our concealer, but then we used 1 product for the lips and blush. And then I added some lashes, some mascara. So I hope that kind of points to perspective that you don't really need loads and loads and loads of products for a whole face. It's choosing the right products and using and working those together. That's going to ensure you don't need to carry around loads of like excess product with you. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Please do consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.